Now we're going to go to a troubling new study about the risk of brain injury in football. Researchers are finding that among the brains of 111 former NFL players donated to science, nearly all showed signs of a brain disease known as CTE. And ABC's Paula Ferris is here with the details. And Paula, the study shows it's not just professional athletes who are at risk.
You're right, Michael. You mentioned all but one of the former NFL players had chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. But according to this new study, high school players showed signs of the disease, as did a staggering 91% of college players. This morning, an unprecedented new study raising red flags, suggesting CTE could be more common in football than once believed. The findings are staggering. Researchers at Boston University studied the brains of 202 deceased football players from all levels who had shown signs of CTE when they were alive. 87% had the disease. And among former NFL players, all but one had the disease.
Essentially, this says it's a problem for football. It's a problem at all levels, at high school and above. And we need to now look for ways to detect it in living people, and most importantly, to treat it in living people.
This new research coming just 7 months after the NFL finalized a nearly $1 billion class action lawsuit by former players who claim they suffered traumatic brain injuries during their careers. The roster of deceased players who suffered from CTE, including Frank Gifford and Dave Duerson and Junior Seau, who both committed suicide. The NFL telling ABC News it's tackling the situation both on the field and off by supporting scientific research and advancing progress in the prevention and treatment of head injuries, a sentiment NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell expressed to Robin last year.
We've had 40 different rule changes that are all designed on making the game safer. We've invested in equipment changes. We're seeing safety changes to the turf, which I think will help on impacts, including head impacts on the turf.
Now, we have to mention this study only looked at players who were exhibiting signs of CTE while they were alive. That is a substantial caveat. But just this week, NFL player David Bruton retired. He walked away from the game saying, quote, "I'd like to have my brain functioning when I'm older." But Michael, we talked about this for so many professional players out there. They accept the data, they accept the risk, continue to play, because for them, just imagining a life without football isn't a life at all.
A life without football, and for a lot of guys, this is their way out of their...
Is this the kind of thing you guys talked about a lot when you were playing, or not really?
No, you don't talk about it, George. And I'm pretty sure if there was something that could show you if you had it while you were living, if there is a test that they could do that, I don't know how many would actually take it.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. It's almost, don't know, just keep on going.
You wouldn't want to know.
I wouldn't want to know. But if I don't know your names when I show up here one day, then we know.
That's the test.
That's the test.